I'm in a familiar place. It brings back memories. So we're gonna see a lot of shenanigans over here. Where have I been again? I keep doing this all the time. I'm probably gone for a month or so. I feel like I'm like one of that YouTuber who doesn't post for quite some time, and then 2 weeks later, and 3 weeks later, a month later, and all that stuff. But you know, when you have a life, you got a life. And plus, I don't make YouTube like my full job or anything like that. I don't get paid or anything. And that's the way it needs to be, because that's how I run things when I'm doing YouTube videos and all that stuff. If you're doing something to get paid for it, then you have to meet the schedule and then meet the deadlines. And you know, YouTube gives me the freedom to do that. And I feel bad for many major YouTubers, because they have an expectation for these advertisers and all that stuff. If they don't post like every single day, they're not going to get the cash for it. But good thing I'm not a part of that stuff. I hope to goodness I don't. If it does, then that's just terrible. Then you're just losing yourself. You'll have mental issues. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna get desperate for like videos, anything for the views and all that stuff. And then what's gonna happen? It's just one of those things. Yep. Welcome to Kennedy Boulevard. This brings back old memories. Oh, that X5M right there. You can't even see that. It looks like it got 3 exhausts, but it's not. X6M. Good night. But it sounds quiet. Yeah, I have no GM news right now. Ooh. Ford Focus RS right there. Hello. But yeah, no news that I know of. I mean, I could talk about the Corvette, but what's more left to say? They're still delaying the build for it. But I could talk about the CT6V, because they finally released it. After 18 months, they finally released it. And it's just, wow. That was a long time to build it. And especially, like, we all heard about the GM strike. That's probably one of the reasons. And also that whatever the factory that the CT6 was being built on, that caused a lot of issues. So finally the CT6V is out, and I would love to get my hands on it, but it really depends on how many is being built. Looks like he does racing on that Focus RS, but sadly though, they don't make the Focus RS anymore. That's one of the worst parts of it. When they build something, then they stop it, and then they substitute it with something else, like the Ford Fiesta ST. I'm like, seriously, why would I want to have a Fiesta with the ST? I like the Focus RS big time. Sorry, I'm throwing jokes. But we could talk about new car. Hey, look, CT6, brand new one. It's not the V, that's just a 3.0. But Range Rover, the standard one. What is that? A supercharged? Yeah, that's a supercharged, all right. You can see that little silver thing, and it says supercharged on it. Bye bye, RS. Enjoy your little turn. What else is new? Yeah, I was thinking about that Corvette C8, and yeah, I was reading more about what was going on with the manual situation. Apparently, they do not have somebody that, assumingly, that they don't make the rear, like, manual for the rear mounted engines. I mean, let me be quite frank about that one. Let's look back at past history with Lamborghinis and Ferraris. They did have manual for rear wheel, for mid-engine for it. I mean, if they could learn from that, they could possibly make a manual, but they decided not to. But then again, this all comes back to in the past where people don't want to drive a manual. I mean, seriously. I don't know what's up with people. I don't know if people doesn't want to teach people how to drive, or people are too lazy to drive. Yes, stats wise, the automatic is much better. It's faster. It got quick shifts and everything. But to be quite honest, when it comes to the joy of driving, manual's much needed. To be quite honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm driving an automatic, and I could drive manual like this. I like the shifts. Go lower. I'm on second. Then again, I'm gonna be blowing the engine, so. Hey, look, it's my old alma mater. Yeah, that's where I graduated, guys. You'll be wondering, hey, which college you went to? Say hello to my old alma mater. But made a huge career change. A lot of memories passed through. Hello, school. Good days and bad days. But when you move on, you move on. But yeah, back to the C8 business with the manual. I mean, I see the point, but also you have to look at the center console of the vehicle. The center console is not really typically designed for a manual. If you have that little giant thing right here, this takeout that has all the buttons for like AC and controlling other features to it. I mean, if you have that and you have a manual and you're trying to shift like that, you're gonna hit the side of it. It makes no sense. So that's why they made the little simple buttons on it. So that's what the deal is. Oh, I didn't say this. There is some news about the Corvette C8 that they came out with the hardtop convertible, which is cool. I was actually, after a long time, they finally did it. They finally made a hardtop convertible. I mean, after all these years, they finally did it. So they finally got the hardtop. So cool on them. But they're also like, you could make a coupe, a convertible. You just there's a latch like located on the top here. Take it and put it in the trunk. There's the ways to make it into a convertible. So either way, and like if you want electronic hardtop, you could do that, or you could just remove the top like normally. So you have pretty much two options to open the convertible for it. Man, I miss the city. Say hello to the Bank of America. BB&T. A lot of memories here. I'm returning here all the time. Down memory lane. But my time has moved on. My time has moved on. Yeah, sorry for the sporadic stuff. You're taking a journey with me. Ooh, 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 ooh. C4. that looks so cool. Or it's probably a family. Yeah, it looks like a family. Never mind. Judge too soon. Wow, what a massive traffic jam. Yeah, this, if anyone's wondering, this feels like New York City. Yeah, it's this is kind of like the New York City of the South. Welcome to Tampa Bay. Or over that street to go to get some pizza. lunch. Hopefully we could haul pretty good. But nope. Sad face. We can't haul. We cannot haul. We can't haul. Oh, let's talk about other car stuff. I don't know. Koenigsegg? Yeah. If you guys have heard about it, the Koenigsegg actually did their 0 to 400 to 0 again. I'm impressed. I think it was around 32 point something seconds. That's impressive, and especially like it has one. It's a V8 engine hybrid with one transmission. Okay, it's only one gear on it, and it's only at one gear. And when you hear it, it's like pure motor on it. It's like there's no shifts. You don't hear the blips on every shift. It's just pure motor. That's what it is. When you look at a one gear, if people are wondering, okay, what it would be like to have a V8 engine with one gear, what would it sound like? It would just sound like a really maxed out V8 engine with no blips on it. That's what it is. It's just pure motor, which is pretty cool, but at the same time, it's like when you really want some, like if you have a V8 engine and you have that kind of much power on it, you kind of thrive, you kind of desire that blips at every shift. Like when you shift those gears, when you're driving at high RPM, it's like you hear those sounds. It's like a symphony. It's like really like music to my ears. That's what I'm gonna describe it. A symphony is actually technically another way of saying it, music to your ears, but just that's the way I would describe it. And hearing the one gear V8 from the Regera, that was interesting. That was actually really cool, and really props to Christian von Koenigsegg. That was interesting. So shout out to the Koenigsegg team, Christian von Koenigsegg. That was a big achievement right there. So congrats, big time. I know everyone is gonna be like, oh, Bugatti's better and all that stuff. I mean, dude, seriously, get a grip. We're having a good time. It's a great time for the car community to share fun, not here to brag about, okay, which car is better, just to boost our egos. We're just here as a car community to celebrate each other's achievements. So that's what it is. So we're giving congratulations to Christian for it. But it's really cool. Eventually one day I would like to work on my engines. I mean, that would be like my future. I like working on engines and building them and develop powerful vehicles. Oh, Camaro, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you... Okay, number 2, right there. Wow. Wait. Good grief. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Oh well. I told you there's gonna be some shenanigans here. So you guys are joining me on the ride. Yeah, the big old city. Things have never changed. Things have never changed. Even though it's cool, it's awesome to visit and all that stuff, but living wise, it wouldn't be right for me. Now, I'm gonna be quite honest. I mean, much as there's a lot of activities and all that, but when you're looking into the long haul for places like cities like Tampa, Orlando, or Miami and all that stuff, it's great. You got a lot of activities, but there's a point in time that there's a limit to things, and you kind of look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, do I want to spend the rest of my life doing this every single day of my life? And what do you really desire? What do you really want in your life? That's the question that you really have to look in yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I got all of this stuff. I had this great time. I got this. I had this time with friends and all that stuff. But what do you really seek to desire, like for the future. Like, what do you want to do, like in basis of like, what is your long-term plan? That's the question you want to ask. Like, sometimes the city life is great, but is it a long-term thing? That's really a question thing. Sometimes it's a long-term thing for some people, and sometimes it's not. But when it comes to like with your mental health, that's one, but also your physical health and your spiritual health. You got to look at all three levels of things, and everything has to be properly balanced. If one is completely out of balance, then you got to really fix it. And seeing a lot of things going on in today's world and all that, it comes down to one thing: discipline and knowing exactly what you want in life. What is going to keep you at peace and keep you going in the future. I mean, there will be ups and downs. Life is going to be ups and downs. It's pretty clear. I mean, nothing's going to be like a straight line, like success or anything. But during those times in life, the ups and downs, it's supposed to mold you, make you a better person, mature you in every way. I mean, no matter how young or how old you are, I mean, you have to make the best of it, and you have to make those decisions correctly. I mean, you'll make mistakes along the way, but sometimes mistakes give you a blessing, and those blessings give you lessons to learn. It gives you an extra edge, an extra foot, and then helps you move forward. I mean, it's nice to like get the wins and all that stuff, but what is the real winning of things? It's maturity. How you grow as a person. What do you learn from it? I mean, that's what you need. You need to grow from it. I mean, winning is winning, but the thing is though, growth is what you need. And that's why people talk about, okay, failure's bad. Failure is actually good. It gives you a blessing. There is a winning in failure. That's wisdom and knowledge. And people is like, oh, failure is disastrous and all that stuff. When you hear something like that, saying failure is blasphemous or terrible or anything like that, don't listen to them. Please for the life of me, don't listen to it. I mean, there's a blessing behind it. It is knowledge and wisdom. See, people get depressed over the fact that when they hit something so bad or they feel terrible about themselves, like they failed a relationship, or they failed in their job, or they failed in school. Use those failing moments as like, what can I take out of it? What did I do wrong? How do I become a better person? And where do I go from here? What is going to be appreciated and what's not going to be appreciated? And how do I improve from those days? And that's the key core of living a good life. What lessons you could take away from all the things that you have gone through in life. And that's my little take about life lessons. So here and there, you keep going in life. Just if you feel down, just be ready to have notes and say, hey, what can I learn from those days? I mean, every day is supposed to be a good day. I mean, there'll be days that you'll be down, but use those down times to learn something new. Like, what can you take? It'll be frustrating. Is that a Jaguar F-Type? Yeah, that's a Jaguar F-Type right there. Sorry, distraction. But honest to goodness, take those times, down periods, failing times as a lesson, as maturity and wisdom, and moving forward in your life. And it's really important because I know a lot of people will struggle with a lot of things like school, relationships, and all that. But those moments are there to mold you, to make you grow. And actually, here's the thing. In life, there will be times that you might hit the wrong direction. Use those times during the wrong direction to gain some wisdom and knowledge. And then when you gain those knowledge and wisdom, I mean, take it and then move forward from there. I mean, and make sure that when you learn from those times, when you head down the wrong direction or make those wrong decisions, that you learn and grow from it and you do yourself better. I've been there. I've made wrong decisions. I've almost made disastrous decisions, but it has been turned around. It's been halted before it even happened. I mean, and then I learn from it. I say, okay, this thing almost happened. What can I learn from this situation? And that's what you need. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from wrong things, and it helps you grow. It's actually good times and bad times give you lessons, and they mature you over time. And a lot of times when people don't embrace those lessons times or growth times, they just like, well, I'm perfect, but I don't need to be growing. And then they get prideful, egotistical, and all this kind of stuff. And then they start getting themselves into a sticky situation, and that's terrible to do. So, yeah, little wisdom coming out of me. Something needs to be said about things. Yeah, like dark times. I mean, it seems like it's dark times, but lessons can be learned from it. So keep moving in life, people. I will catch you guys another time. And if you want more talks, I could give more talks. I could give more wisdom if it's in me. So later.